Hi, I am Faith Gore, your mental health coach. Thank you for joining me again as we continue learning together. This is the fourth of a seven-part series on understanding child abuse, the effects of child abuse, and how to support survivors of child abuse. In the previous video, we learned the effects of child sexual abuse, and in this video, we're going to learn the telltale signs of child sexual abuse. Due to the complexity that comes with sexual abuse, many children don't tell easily. There are many reasons that could keep a child from telling. Part of this could be that they don't have the language to tell what has happened to them or what is happening to them. And a lot of times, the perpetrator is someone they know and trust, and that makes it complicated for them to tell. Though they may not speak it out verbally, the signs will begin showing through their body and behavior. And today, we're going to learn the signs that you and I need to look out for in order for us to support the children around us appropriately. Please note that some of the changes that will be mentioned in this presentation could just be normal developmental changes. However, a combination of some of these signs could either tell that a child has been violated sexually, a child is stressed, or a child is being violated in some other form. So when you notice a combination of some of the signs that you're going to mention today, please seek help and advice on how to best support the child around you. So some of the behavioral changes are a child may start avoiding taking a bath, or they may have excessive baths. And then you may notice that a child who was outgoing, cheerful, courageous, and confident will begin being withdrawn and very clingy, timid, and shy. You may also notice some changes in their dressing. Perhaps if a child enjoyed showing up in bright colored clothing, they may start dressing up in dull colored clothing that are either oversized, and sometimes they may even overdress with an attempt to try to protect themselves or to hide. And then you may also notice that a child may begin being obsessed by dressing like the opposite gender, not in a way to experiment, but that's just what they want to do, right? So, so when you notice some of these things, be curious, be compassionate, and show some care even as you ask them. And then you notice that some children will begin being secretive. You may also notice that some children will start acting in sexual ways with toys, objects, or with other children. Or you'll notice that some children will start drawing naked people. And sometimes a child may also begin acting in sexual ways with an adult, right? Because they don't know. They don't know whether it's okay or not okay. They're just expressing what they have been experiencing. And then you may also notice changes in their eating habits. Either they'll start eating less or they'll start eating excessively. You may also notice that they start snacking in secret, and this they do with an attempt to soothe themselves. Again, when you notice some of these things, show care and compassion and just be curious. And then you may also notice that a child will start owning expensive gifts that you don't know where they have come from. Either they'll start having lots of money, expensive toys, mobile phone, expensive perfumes, or even expensive clothes. Some of the psychological signs that you may notice are difficulty in learning, or rather, struggle in learning. So you may find that a child will start avoiding going to school, or they'll start getting sick when it's time to go to school, or yes, they may go to school but not attend some classes, or they may attend class and just zone out while learning. They may attend class and just be absent-minded. And then you may notice that they're not finishing their schoolwork, and perhaps they'll be giving so many excuses to try and protect themselves. And sometimes there are other children who may give up their playtime and choose to study excessively. And that is usually as an attempt to numb the pain that they are experiencing. And then you may also notice some drastic changes in their moods. They may have anger outbursts. They may be in conflict with other children. And you may also notice that some may have trouble in their sleep. Either they'll have nightmares. A child who could easily just go to bed will start fearing going to bed. And then a child who was just okay with the dark will start fearing darkness. And then they'll either have insomnia or they'll be sleeping excessively. And then you may also notice that a child will start having social anxiety, or they'll just be anxious. And you may find that they keep on getting startled. So you may just be around, just sitting normally, and then a child will keep on getting startled, you know. So when you see some of these things, it's important that you take note. And then you may also notice that a child will start harming themselves, either cutting themselves, or they keep on having endless wounds. You know, a wound will heal and then they're going to peel it off. And you may also, some of them will start talking about they would rather die, you know, they'll start having suicidal thoughts. And you may also notice that some of them, when they're sick, they won't tell. So when you see some of these things, it's important that you take note. Then you may also notice that a child will start having sudden fear of particular people or particular places. Maybe if they enjoyed visiting someone, they no longer want to see that person. Maybe when guests come home, they choose not to show up. They don't want to show up. And you wonder, and you may not understand what is happening. So when you see some of these things, again, be compassionate to the child. Carefully be curious to know what's happening to the child. And then there are some physical signs that you may notice. Probably a child who's past the age of bedwetting will start bedwetting. And then you may notice that a child is having unexplained bruises and wounds, either in their mouth, their genitalia, their anus, you know, their back or their thighs. And then you may also notice, or even in their arms, you may also notice that they have strange pain, recurring pain when using the toilet. And then you may also notice that they'll start having strange pain and discharge from their genitalia or their anus. Remember, there could be many reasons why a child is having some of these signs. And when you notice one or two signs, it's important that you seek for help from a professional, either a doctor, a nurse, a psychiatrist, or a psychologist. I'm so glad that you're able to learn with me today. Join me in the next video as you'll be learning what to do when you have discovered that a child has been sexually violated. See you then.